Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1795 AN. Today's date is February 19th, 2019, and the title of the episode is Report: The U.S. has been inoculated against recession risk. Control. Now, before we get started, I want to talk about the Patriots. Our Patriot-in-Chief, Donald Trump, is winning a few carries as he goes into his own third quarter. Now, that's worth celebrating, and that's what Noble Gold has done. They've commissioned these stunning President Trump 2020 Freedom Coins. You can get these in 0.999% fine solid silver and even 24-karat solid gold. You can display them in your home or office in this stylish presentation box along with their certificate of authenticity. Noble Gold is running a special offer. If you buy 3 coins, use the code X22 to get free shipping. Just click on the link below. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, we see all different parts of the Patriot plan. It is all coming together now. And I'm talking about the indictments, the arrests, the certain people that are in place right now to pull all of this off. We also see that Trump, he has control over the Federal Reserve. Coming out of the mainstream media, they're even indicating that the recession is called off. Now, yesterday we reported on how Trump was maneuvering to shut down the plans by the deep state and the central bank to bring down the economy, bring us into a recession, depression, so it all could be blamed on him. Well, it looks like everything is being reversed. Now, is this permanent? No, this is temporary. He's using the tools of the deep state, of the central bankers. He's using them against them. Now, Trump, the Patriots, they understand how the central bank, how the deep state, how they bring down the economy. They know the mechanisms they have used in the past. And they saw what was happening. They realized what the central bank was up to. And actually, there are good guys and bad guys within the central bank system. When this is all said and done, we are going to have a central bank. The difference is it's not going to be a private central bank. It's going to be a central bank of the people. The people are going to create the currency. And we don't have to loan this currency to ourselves. If we don't have to loan it to ourselves, well, then there's no interest. If there's no interest, there's checks and balances. If there's checks and balances, most likely, we won't need the amount of taxes that we have today. The corruption in government will decline rapidly. And this is where we are headed, and we're going to be talking about that in just a minute. But out in the UK, we can see that things are not going well for the EU. Jean-Claude Juncker, he appeared to shrug off responsibility for the BREXIT in the latest of series of comments, forcing the point that the Brexit negotiations are now beyond being reopened. And the UK is saying that we still might have a no-deal Brexit option. Now, Theresa May will meet with Jean-Claude Juncker. They're the ones who created the deal in the first place. It wasn't the people's deal. It was the deal for the central bank. And we'll have to wait to see how this all plays out. Because as we know, the people want to be completely separate and apart. The EU, the central bankers, they want control over the people. So we have two things happening here. And remember, the biggest fear of the central bankers, those who aren't elected, those people that are appointed into these positions by other elites, not by the people. They don't want anyone to realize that if we get rid of the central bank system, economies will prosper. This is their biggest fear, and they don't want this out in the open. They don't want this transparent. Think about the central bankers. Think about the elite. Think about the deep state. If you notice, they all have something very, very in common. They don't like transparency. Yes, they like propaganda transparency, where they tell you what's going on and they pretend it's transparent, but they do not like true transparency. They don't like the truth because it hurts their mission. And their mission, from the very, very beginning, was to control the world. I mean, think about this for a second. A lot of people think power is having a strong military, having nuclear weapons where you can wipe out the other country, or fire nuclear weapons, and if they have nuclear weapons, they fire them back at you. And what do we have at that point? Well, we have a lot of dead people. Is that really power? Or is power creating currency out of thin air, telling governments you must use this and you must borrow it from us, which is the central bank, and we're going to charge you interest on something that we created out of nothing. And the people will have to use this currency, and the people will have to be taxed to pay down the interest on the debt that you borrowed. Is that power, or is having nuclear weapons and a strong military power? Because the central bankers, they have the ability, by doing pretty much nothing, they have the ability to put all nations into debt, control the nations, dictate to the nations what they need to do next, how they should repay the debt, and if they can't repay the debt, what programs they will need to cut. Which is more powerful? Well, a long time ago, the Rothschilds realized the people who control the currency can control nations, can control what these nations actually do. And through this creation of currency, they have the ability to control government officials through corruption, because you're getting all this free money. This is the most powerful position you can have. And the people are waking up to this position. Now, Trump, which we reported on yesterday, he has been putting a stop, not just Trump, but the Patriots who are working with him, he's been putting a stop to this recession. Now, don't get me wrong. This economy is a gigantic illusion. It was created by the central bank. The deep state kept it going, and they were keeping it going long enough so this could be blamed on another country. We were going to enter war. Trump came into office. They didn't have that option. This economy is an illusion. The stock market is an illusion. It's manipulated. It's controlled. Trump knows this. But very interesting, out of Bloomberg, they put up an article, and they're saying that instead of pausing, the central bank may need to start cutting interest rates to avoid a recession. Now, they went on to say that the sharp risk-on rally in financial markets this year strongly suggests that the U.S. economy has been inoculated against recession risk by the Federal Reserve. Now, they're out there saying that the Federal Reserve, by smartly pausing the interest rate hikes, they stopped the recession because they care. And to really avoid another recession, the interest rates should be reversed. Now, Trump might come out and tell the Federal Reserve, at this point, why don't you drop the interest rates a little bit? If he does this, this is complete control. Doesn't mean that he doesn't have control now, but this would ensure that the economy does not go into a recession in 2020. Right now, everything is paused, and they're saying, listen, they stopped the recession from coming. So we see already that Trump is controlling the Fed. How far will he take this? We don't know. Now, the other thing that Trump is doing, and he believe he's doing this with Xi Jinping, is they've just taken China and they have injected a huge amount of currency into the system. At the same time, Trump and China, they're talking about a trade deal. Now, everyone said March 1st, this is the cutoff date, and if we don't meet the cutoff date, the tariffs come into play. Well, remember, Trump is in control. Trump is already saying that, listen, when the March 1st dates hit, it's not a magical date. we might be able to extend this a little bit because the talks are going on right now. He said we might add a 60-day extension to the trade deadline, which means there are no new tariffs, which means the economy continues on. Now, are the tariffs the problem? No. But the mainstream media will make it look like it's the problem. And I believe this is why he's saying, listen, we'll give China a 60-day extension because we're dealing with them right now. We're working out the trade deal. Who's in control? The patriots are in control right now. And you can see from every action and from every step that Trump and the patriots are doing at this time, they are controlling how the economy is going to look. Think about the stock market right now. It's moving up. It's hitting all-time highs. It's completely incredible. Magic wand. We're starting to see gold move up. And it's moving up to the mid-1300s. What happens if gold continues? What happens if we hit 1400? We remember what Q continually tells us. Gold will bring down the Fed. It doesn't mean we're going to all of a sudden go to the vaults, pick up the gold, and say, here you go, we destroy you, Fed. What would destroy the Fed? If the gold price rises and continually rises, and it reaches 14, 15, 16, 17, it destroys the paper currency. It's that simple. So what would Trump need to do to get this done? Oh, wait, he has the magic wand. What happens if Trump and the patriots remove the manipulation? What do you think would happen to gold at this point? Do you think gold would start moving up? Absolutely. Now, is he just going to shut it down and just let gold do what it does best? No, because gold would then shoot up and everything would be a complete and utter disaster. I think what they're going to do is they're going to remove the manipulation a little bit at a time. And we're going to see gold move up by 10, by 15, by 20, by 25, by 40, by 50. And it will eventually accelerate. Do I think it's going to accelerate that much this year? No, we might hit 1400 this year, maybe even 1450. But I think once we get into 2020, closer to the elections, we'll see gold move up a little bit more. And I think once we are past the elections and Trump is reelected, I think there is going to be nothing stopping what gold and silver can do, because Trump has the magic wand. He will just release the manipulation system, and this will allow gold to really expose the central bank in what they were doing. It will expose the central bank currency. It will expose the central bank altogether. Once this starts, it won't be able to be stopped. And it will destroy the central bank in the process. This is what we are watching. Now, does this mean that gold's not going to go down then up? Yes, we're going to see fluctuation. But when you look at the overall picture, you're going to see it continually move up and up and up. Now, what about silver? Silver is going to follow. Actually, all the precious metals are going to follow. And it's going to show that the central bank reserve note, the debt note, is really worth nothing. Because remember, when the gold price moves up, that means it takes more and more of those reserve notes to buy the same ounce of gold. It doesn't really mean that gold is moving up in price. It really means that, okay, instead of 1,300, I need 1,400 of that worthless reserve note paper. So I need an extra 100 now to buy the same ounce. When it's up to 2,000, I need 2,000 of that worthless reserve note paper. Gold hasn't gone anywhere. It's the reserve note, the Federal Reserve note, that is continually decreasing in value each time. And as it does this, it shows that it's worth nothing. This is why gold is going to destroy the Fed. Gold is going to destroy the central bank system altogether. Because what is it backed by? Really nothing. All Trump needs to do is say, listen, our backing is now gold. It's not the full faith credit of the United States. It's not the central bank. It's gold. That's what we rely on. I mean, they did it when we came off the gold standard. Oh, we don't rely on gold anymore as the backing. We rely on oil. And they did it with a snap of a finger. Yes, it was planned way before that, but they took us off it and everything had to be readjusted. They're going to do the same thing, but this time with gold. So we're going to be coming off a system that has huge amount of debt, a paper currency that's worth absolutely nothing, and we're going to be moving on to a solid system. Get ready, get prepared. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.